Peace and infinite harmony coming to you today. How does being abused as a child affect our shopping habits, our economic habits, our finances, our bank account, our income, our livelihood, how much we spend, how much we earn, how much we save? How do we plan for retirement? How do we plan for the weekend? How do we plan for the next 5 minutes? When we look at the episode of child abuse and the internal network that it creates within us for low self-esteem and wiring us to attract negativity and negative events, negative people, negative situations to our life, we realize that this also impacts our ability to earn and ability to handle finances productively and successfully. If upon being abused as a child, there is that foundation of low self-esteem, insecurity, shaming, not feeling good enough, having a low self-worth factor, having a situation where one never feels good enough, not worthy enough. No matter how much one spends, no matter how much one earns, they do not feel satisfied. They do not see reflected in them the positivity or joy that should be created from having certain things, going certain places, traveling, having a certain amount in a bank account. Victims of child abuse often completely sabotage themselves and find themselves again and again in liability debt, credit card debt, owing to family members, owing to other members of society, their friends, their employer, constantly in a state of dependence and owing someone else, being constantly in a situation of debt, perpetuates the cycle of low self-esteem. Well, once we realize that that whole situation was created for us in childhood and we let go of that situation, we no longer will see that we are that person. We are, in fact, complete and whole in the present. And we do deserve to have money. We do deserve to understand money. We do deserve to own money and have it work and grow for us. However, this would counterintuit our sense of self-worth, where we're lacking self-worth, is contradictory to our own personal identity or sense of success. So what happens is we tend to perpetuate that original experience that we experienced in childhood, and it just becomes deeper and more developed as an adult. So what you need to do is, looking at your finances, seeing if you're caught in this downward spiral, is to identify and realize that this was probably set up from childhood experience, childhood messages, childhood situations where you were told, beaten, criticized, judged, questioned for having things, criticized. Is that new? Where did you get that? Any sort of personal joy that you had was robbed because you were insulted for wanting something. You were insulted for wanting to go someplace. You were viewed at negatively for having earned a good grade, or you were slapped, you were kicked, you were beaten, you were judged. All these different things that set up that whole void within you. A void meaning an absence within the self that can't be satisfied. It can't be quenched. So when we find consumption disorders, we find also compulsive spending disorders as well, perpetual debting. And we do sometimes need professional support to get through those. There's organizations out there, Debtors Anonymous, Gambling Anonymous, other sort of resources out there in the community that one can resolve. And my goal here in this video is to help you to identify the root cause of some of these behaviors, and let's learn to unroot them so they will no longer begin to sabotage you in your life. Once you realize that you do have intrinsic self-worth, being connected to the Creator, the infinite God source, that is your true divine nature, once you realize that, and that very presence, that very source does want you to be abundant and does want you to be happy, experience joy, personal growth, satisfaction, happy relationships, positive employment. Once you identify that and realize that, you will then be able to take a look at some of the self-sabotaging behaviors that comes to you regards to finances, and unrooting those will be the primary goal of getting yourself onto a better surface for being able to move into the future and experience things like profit, abundance, wealth. Once you realize that you're worthy of this and that you can attain this, it's merely a matter of creating the environment within yourself that you deserve it. You believe and you have trust in yourself that you are a divine presence and you are connected to a higher good that wants abundance, peace, and harmony for you in your life. And once you accept this and begin to ask for what you need, ask for what you deserve, ask for what you're worthy of, you'll begin to draw these and attract these into your life. And you'll be able to see and take joy and pride, peace, and harmony in these experiences. However, if we close our eyes to the good and talent and strength that we are, we will continue to perpetuate a sense of low self-worth, compulsive spending, compulsive debting, binge spending, binge debting, meaning that all of our earnings we can't maintain and build. All of our finances go to things like fees, go to things like ignorance, not understanding how a credit card works. Ignorance and those negative toxic situations are running our life. And oftentimes that once again is perpetuated in the lack of reality that one was raised in, which means that self-abuse is enacting out of the abuse that was set up in your childhood. So once again, come into the present, becoming mindful of finances, becoming mindful of your spending habits will shed some initial light on the cycles that are active in your life, and learning to disarm those becomes important to creating a happy and stable future, and that begins with having a positive, healthy sense of self-worth and knowing that you deserve to have things, you deserve to have beauty, you deserve to have gorgeous things in your life, and that you are not required to destroy these in your life by overconsumption and then losing and doing behaviors and situations like bankruptcy, pawning things off, things of that nature, that perpetual cycle. So once again, sending you infinite peace and harmony. Take awareness of your financial habits. Get into that situation of better self-worth, realizing the joy and gratitude for what you have in your life. Take tally of all the good that you have in your life so that it will retain with you and you will begin to increase more of abundance and profit in your life. Love you. Peace and harmony.